I had 3 very pronounced, deep, profound revelatory experiences. Like Helen Schuckman described the Course had one that's described in the subway, and through Ken Wapnick's writings, Absence from Felicity. And in each case, it ended up in a non-perceptual experience, like just into blazing light, into the great rays. That's what happened. So that's like, you might say, a glimpse of the end, a glimpse of the disappearance of the universe. Yes, I've seen the world disappear 3 times. And so that was a very powerful experience, and yet, as Jesus says, this is a course in miracles. It's not a course in revelation. He would have renamed it. He talks about revelation at the beginning, but he says, most people are not ready for revelation. Bill Thetford is an example. I think he is a good role model of really stabilizing with the Course. Anybody who's met Bill or met people who knew Bill can see that he really took the Course. He was one of the first 2 students, and whereas Helen resisted taking the Course that she delivered, Bill took it. And I have many great witnesses of what that's like. But Bill was told from Jesus through Helen that his mind was not in a state of revelation readiness. Great story. It almost sounds like the tortoise and the hare. How fast the rabbit can run, and yet, the tortoise just methodically keeps practicing and doesn't poop out there, makes it through the finish line. Yes.
My first teacher of the Course, someone asked a very similar question, and they said, well, is it a process or is it an event? And he said, yes.
Yeah, that's what I've said too. I've said it's a process until it's an instant, but really it's an instant.
Yeah, it is.
But so for me, that's the thing about it is when you have this great, glorious experience, then of course the practice becomes, don't make any exceptions in your mind, in your awareness. That's what all the transfer of training, that's what the whole workbook's about, is as best you can, try not to make exceptions. And so I would say that, that's been my experience. It is a consistently happy experience. It does feel, I really don't have bad days. I really, can't say honestly that I have a bad day. I actually had many, many years ago at that time, the metaphor of teachers and students and so forth that said that I was unrealistic as a role model because I was too happy, and that I should show more darkness and sadness and whatever. And I said, well, you should have caught me a few years ago. You had plenty of that. But it's like, it's always about being authentic, not trying to hide anything, protect anything, to just let it come, let it surface and everything. And I find it very, very consistent experience. And if people call that enlightenment, it just matters on the definitions. If you talk about enlightenment as a state of pure oneness and pure abstraction, then enlightenment wouldn't have anything to do with enlightened persons or enlightened beings, because abstraction doesn't have anything to do with persons or personhood or the mask at all. If you look at it in terms of a happy dream being enlightenment, I always tell people, oh, the happy dream's great, jump in, give it a try, and of course anything unlike it will come up.